Good afternoon, everybody. It's Friday, so
Hello.
you guys know what that means. We're back. How are we doing today, PainGod?
Doing good. I'm hoping that you're enjoying a little bit of sun and above freezing temperatures like I am.
Weird, isn't it? Because it's still very cold, but it feels like summer in this part of the world.
Yeah, it's crazy how much that can lighten your mood and put a spring in your step. Although
It
the
does.
snow is blinding, you look outside and look back in, and everything's dark.
It's a strange thing in this part of the world, and I'm sure the players who are in, excuse me, in places where they get a lot of snow, it might be freezing cold, but you see people walking around with sunglasses on all the time. It's hilarious.
Yeah. So, pretty good week so far, huh?
I think definitely Tuesday seems to be a really good update for the community. I think people are very glad to see the two new maps. Well, the one new map and one updated map into rotation. I know rotation is still something that the players are talking about on my end and stuff. But yeah, seems to be a good week this week.
Yeah, I'm happy with it. I hope all of you are happy with it. I'm glad you're happy with the maps. Also, a lot of really cool comments, and people start talking about the Easter eggs we put in there. And then the one guy that tweeted that he didn't like the color of the helicopter blades cracked me up. Um,
See that?
so yeah, well, it was all good. Um, we also, with adding the two maps, we're continuing to do testing to make sure the map rotation is as even as possible. So everybody's seeing as many maps as possible. We added maps to additional battle tiers. We have a new algorithm out there, and it was kind of ironic for me. We were studying the data to see how spreading maps out. Like, yes, we did improve it, and then see people say, "I'm not seeing the new maps often enough," and I'm like, "Okay, well, those are two conflicting, goals there. Oops, we did them in the same week." Because usually we weight the new maps so they show up more often, but we didn't. We have all the waiting on all the maps to be even to try to keep this rotation as even between all the maps. So I hope you guys are noticing that. Minto said he played a long session on Tuesday, only saw one map twice. I've had the same experience when I've been playing at night. So I can tell you the team has gotten together and planned out the map updates, returning classic World of Tank map, updating them and bringing them back for the rest of the year. So when I have 100% confidence in that, I'll look to even publish it so you guys know what maps are coming when.
Lovely.
We also added more of the theater of war elements, to make the maps feel alive to more of the maps. There was a host of map spawn point balance changes and some tank balance changes. So far, I think they've gone well. I need to get the data collected on the map balance to see if it did accomplish what our goals were. We got the right colorblind fix out, the right one, Minto, not the wrong one. We got the right one out.
We got the right one, yeah. Yeah, that's something. So I was going through the highlights of our streams over the last few weeks, and I've been trimming them to focus on the things that we talk about. And we were talking about the light blue and light purple one for a long time, and we started to see feedback about just the standard the green purple one. So that's the one that ended up making it into the game in the end as the extra colorblind option. And from what I can tell from the community, it seems to have really kind of addressed that issue for our colorblinded players.
That was another middle of the night. Minto, we got this in. We changed it. The last minute change to get the right colors. Glad to do that. I'm personally very happy to see the tank class and the names of the tanks and the MVP screen. I know most of the tanks pretty well, but sometimes I'm like, which tank is that? Also because of the camera angle. So happy to see that. We added a new skill, the rollover recovery. Once a week's gone by, we'll pull up the data to see how many people are trying it out, using it. Something super critical for light tank drivers. I know I find myself upside down quite often.
Yeah, as a bit of more of a heavy player, if I'm upside down, I've done something really stupid. So
If I'm upside down and heavy, it's most likely I've also blown up because I fell off a cliff.
yeah, yeah. It happened once on a live stream. I accidentally just flipped somebody in front of me and flipped myself. It was very embarrassing. Very funny though. Um, just for those of you in the chat, I'm monitoring all the questions and stuff. I'm kind of like committing some of them to memory, so I'll go through them once we've got through all of the points that we want to cover today, and then we'll have a little bit of time for some questions. Just at the end, loads of you guys here today. Thank you very much for coming. It's nice to see so many of you coming back week after week for these sit downs together. It's good stuff. What can we expect on Tuesday, PainGod?
Excuse me. Tuesday is just a plethora of fixes again. Some of the highlights. My personal favorite, even though it's a little thing, is the view cone and the mini map will now reflect your spotting range properly instead of going all the way across the map. Happy to get that in. Made the penetration indicator a little bit more accurate than it was. So it should tell you more accurately if you on your chance to bounce or penetrate. We got the feedback that the background behind the new kill feed, which was well liked, was too dark and obstructing view. So we've made that more translucent, about 50% more translucent. So give us your feedback on that when you see that on Tuesday. Once again, the caveat that some of these fixes are still in testing. They might not all make it, but I'm pretty confident on most of these. You can now properly mute annoying players in custom games lobby. The M56 Scorpion is going to be back into the premium tech tree. It got missed out of there somehow. Did some cleanup of the challenge screens. The repeatable ones won't show as completed anymore. Infinite ones will now show you that they're infinite. That was causing some confusion. Fixed some confusion with the resource conversion screen. It was showing multiple currencies, so that should be all clear now. Rewards when you get multiple rewards for completing a challenge or opening a war chest. Scaling was being weird on the icons, and that was just visually destroying my brain. That's fixed. And then there's a whole host of various fixes and cleanup stuff based on feedback on Tank Commander.
Fun stuff. I know that the just kind of going back to the first few points there as well, the view cone, where it used to kind of like cover the whole of the map. That's really good to see that come back. I've seen a bunch of comments about that in the community, wondering why it was like that. It's now, it should be as it used to be, so that's great. And like you said as well, if you guys, with regards to the kill feed background becoming more translucent, I'll keep an eye out for any feedback points I see on that as well from the community. I'd be really interested to know as well how many of you guys missed the M56 Scorpion on the premium tech tree. I didn't even know it wasn't there, but I wasn't looking for it anyway. So
someone was, because we found out right away.
I didn't get anything past these players, and that kind of brings something that happened on Tuesday with regards to the season pass.
Oh, so you saw that little non-sanctioned leak, did you?
That's these players. That's all. It's
related to the scene behind me. And that new line I can't announce yet, but I'm linking every way we possibly can. It seems is going to have a new feature in the top tier. We implemented the gas turbine feature, so that should be really cool. A new mechanic to play with.
Gas turbine feature. Interesting. Looking forward to trying that out.
Speaking of leaking, watch closely there, Liam.
All right. What is that?
That'll be the premium hero for that line. Get a better shot with me out of the picture. Might share messing it up.
There we go. Nice and clear now.
Everybody have your screenshots now?
Your screenshots now. Excellent. So, are we allowed to talk about what that tank is?
I bet you one of your listeners or watchers right now has probably already guessed and typed it in, have they?
I reckon so. I'm gonna see if I can keep an eye out on the chat here and see if anybody can guess it. If I can see anybody that can guess it, if I can see the first one.
Then one of them.
One of my ambassadors just got it straight away. Coincidentally, this ambassador isn't in the super test and isn't privy to any information. Good guess, KB.
So you're gonna give him one when it comes out, right?
So yeah. Good ambassador.
What else is going on? We have +1, -1 matchmaking starting March 2nd and running for the week.
Hey.
As far as the team stuff that's in development, we're looking at more readability issues for the HUD, various fixes in the menus and stuff like that. We got feedback that I don't think I had in my list that in some backgrounds the damage bar, the color of the red was harder to see. So Tuesday that should be updated as well. So let us know if that's easier to read. The work on the optimizing the tech tree is well underway. That's going to be a while, but it is going. We had a really good super test the last 2 days. Got really good feedback from the community contributors and the super testers. Going through pages and pages of it today, and filing tickets of change this, tweak this. But everybody seemed happy, so that's always really good to hear when you've been working on new stuff.
I was there. I was part of that community super test. I was there on Tuesday, Wednesday. I don't think I got on Thursday, but yeah, there was a lot of tests going on this week. Obviously, can't tell you guys what, but just let you guys know that it was good. Enjoyed it. Cool. So I've seen quite a bit of feedback in the community over the last week or two about tech tree and stuff like that. So just to recap on what PainGod just said, tech tree optimization and things like that is still ongoing. Obviously, I'm always looking for your feedback on it and things like that. And +1, -1 is going to be starting on the 2nd of March. So look forward to that. On my end, we've got a community contest going on over the weekend. Some really cool camos up for grabs. You'll see it on social media, and you'll see it on the forums and on Discord as well. Now time for some questions. Thank you very much, Modern Carlo, for posting the Discord link there. Probably the easiest way on the community side to join it. Social media is dead easy, just post a photo and stuff like that, put your game tag and what console you play. I know the forums can be a little bit hard to get an image on there sometimes, but it doesn't stop you guys anyway. But yeah, Discord is pretty good for putting images up as well, so it should be nice and easy. What else we got here? So a bunch of questions for +1 and -1, +1, -1 matchmaking. So I'm glad we've been able to talk about that today. Seen a few questions about wheel tanks and double barrel tanks. I don't know about that, folks.
Well, I can talk about wheeled vehicles because that work's going on right now.
Oh, cool.
We've diverged so far from the PC code, we couldn't take what they had, so we've had an engineer working on writing the entire physics systems for wheeled vehicles. It's not ready yet, but it is something that I think very shortly will get into the hands of the designers to start playing with and tuning the feel of the vehicles, and and then we'll get moving on to super test and get feedback on that. We want to make sure we get it right, dead on, that they're fun, that they're not OP, and that they fit well into the game.
Well, I remember back in November, the last time Jeff Gregg actually briefly mentioned it with the extra live stream, and that's pretty much what Jeff Gregg said as well. That anything big like that it kind of changes a little bit of the gameplay of the game. You guys want to be really certain that it's not going to mess anything up. But the balancing has to be really careful with something like that. So that's really good to know. All right. One question from Heat Spammers: where is Jeff Gregg? I imagine that he's working very hard and looking forward to his weekend. All right.
This just in, I asked for the stats on the map distribution since Tuesday, so we're still collecting data. Getting a full week of data is super helpful, but right now we're pleased with the results. The occurrence of back-to-back maps is very small now, and the distribution of maps being played is fairly even. So we'll continue to monitor things through the weekend, when we have higher player numbers. And then we'll look to release, more detailed information, like the actual numbers, how often it actually occurs, and how much, how approved before and after. So maybe I'll have that for you next week.
Got time for a few more questions. One of them that I keep seeing is about being warned before going into game about not having a commander equipped. From my end, I've seen you guys suggest that a bunch of times. So I've got that on my list at the moment.
Yeah, absolutely being worked on. And not only a warning, but actually showing you the picture of the commander above your tank in the garage. So not only telling you that you have a commander, but visibly showing you which commander it is. So, because I accidentally transfer commanders to the wrong tank sometimes, or grab the other one and go, that's not PainGod? Yes, my favorite commander I named after myself.
It's funny, actually, because I did see earlier on in the chat that I think it was Buckethead who was asking for a PainGod commander. There we go.
With long red hair and a goatee?
Well, yeah, it's got to be accurate.
Hey, did you tell the community about your special request that I approved?
I didn't, actually. Go ahead.
No, you can. It's your request. It was your idea. I just said, yeah, go ahead and do it.
All right, this is an exclusive for the community update stream. We're going to get an A-up inscription in game, along with some other really cool things that are going to be coming. But it's happening.
He also asked for a rubber duck, but we already have a rubber duck in the game. We had to point out to him.
I did ask for a rubber duck as well, but yeah, we got one coming. So I'm going to have A-up on one side and duck on the other side. A-up duck. Good stuff. But it is difficult actually figuring out how on earth we spell it, because I did run a poll on Twitter. Did we spell it A-Y up or E-Y up? And E-Y up won, so it's going to be A-up with an E.
You probably could just put both in. If there's really a split, if there's a divide in the community of how it should be spelled, we could probably just put both.
There is a divide in the community apparently on such a random thing. All right, good stuff. Perks of the job, Sprung Nickel. You're right. All right, cool. Great, Graham. I always like to give you a shout out. Clans, never forget about clans. I'm in my position. I could see some really cool things going on in the future with clans. Just gotta wait and see how it pans out. I know that you competitive and clan players have been some of the most patient of players, but one of these days some cool things are going to come for you guys. I'm always trying to look out for you guys. You're really passionate sect of our player base, so
So I can tell you that that ticket has been created with some ideas, and I approved it going off to design to to do the design of what those features will be, including adding a clan tab to the profile section. So my plan is to get those designed, get UI mockups for that, wireframe, not the final art or anything like that, and get that over to Liam to share with the community and get feedback. So
excellent stuff. There you go, another exclusive I wasn't imagining we'd get, but yeah, loads of information for you guys today. Cool. Thank you everyone as well for the haircut and baby Minto face comments as well. I appreciate you guys. You're the best community out there, honestly. Cool. So I think I've got through most of the questions. I've got an answer for and stuff now. Any other extra questions? What we can do on Monday is for insider information. We'll sit down, we'll have a cup of tea or a cup of coffee, and I'll answer all of your questions for you and let you know, kind of where I'm up to with some things as well. And we'll talk about specifically what's going to happen on Tuesday. See if anything extra got in, and we'll talk about some of the events and stuff like that that'll be going on. So from my point of view, that's everything I've had to say to you guys. Do you have any last words for the community, PainGod?
Hey, as always, thanks for playing. Thanks for joining the stream. Thanks for listening to me. We are listening to you. I hope this shows that. I'm sure, what's today, Friday? Isn't it Friday night? So I get the flurry of tickets from you, Liam. These are this week's suggestions or requests.
Sorry, yeah, Friday's probably a bad day actually to send it off, but it just always ends up being the day. So yeah, if you guys you missed the stream, loads of really interesting information in there. I will write up everything that we talked about, put it into a little recap, and for those of you that don't like to come to the stream or you're on the forums or something like that, you should be able to read what we talked about. Other than that, we are not doing karaoke, KB. We will never do karaoke. Nothing will ever make me do karaoke. But I will see you guys on Monday for insider information at 2:00 Central Time, and I hope you guys have a really, really lovely weekend.
So now I have a new goal. Once we can all get back together to take you out drinking and video you doing karaoke for the community.
That might be the only thing that could get me to do it. A few drinks.
I thought that was the only way to do karaoke.
I mean, if you want to have a real good time, yeah, and probably some help doing it as well. So if Tangzars wants to, sing along with me, do some Oasis or something, then maybe I'll do it.
Some Coldplay?
Oh, no, Coldplay. Oh, they're an all right band though. They're a really good band when they first started out. It's some good music. They get a bad rep, but they're a good band. Right. All right. Enjoy your weekend, everybody.
One last clear shot of the tank.
There we go. Get your screenshots.
I don't know what causes all that artifacting, but good old Skype.
All right. All right, everybody. Thank you very much for coming. Thank you to Tankzars for putting this all together, and thank you to PainGod for coming along.
Happy to be here. Thanks, everybody.
All right, see you guys on Monday.
All right, everyone. Take care.